My name is Curtis Bentley, and I am this ninth son of Anna and Lynn Bentley. I'm the baby boy. And I was born in Thomaston, Georgia, 1923, April the 1st, 1923. And I was born on a farm where they raised animals and different things. So 1944, I was called to go in service in the Navy, 1944.
When you were 18, 17, 18, 19, how much did you know about what was going on in Europe and Germany and France and all of that?
Well, I really didn't know anything about, being in the country and everything. I never knew nothing. See, I could have went, I suppose went in service in 41 after they bombed Pearl Harbor. But I was on the farm working for white people. So he kept me out of service. He went up, as long as you was on a farm raising food and stuff, you had a chance to stay out. And also I was like the head of my family. My father died when I was 16. So I was the only one was at home with my mother and my two sisters. So I was sort of like the head of it. So that's the reason I didn't have to go. That's the reason he kept me out of going in when the rest of the boys had to go in after 41. And so when I decided to stop working for him, and then he went and turned me in, and that's when I got the then when I got the paper to go back to be examined. And so I went then to be examined in 44, and that's when I passed, and so that's when I went in. I taken my training here in Great Lakes, and after then I was transferred to California, from California to Hawaii. And in 1945, I was transferred from there to South Pacific in Okinawa. In June in 45, that's when they dropped that bomb. I was in South Pacific then, Okinawa. And so the war was over with, but I didn't have enough points to get out of service, so I had to stay in until 46. And I was discharged in February in 1946. And after then, I went back home, and I stayed there until 47. Then I came here in Chicago in 47. And I got a job here, and I was on my job 37 years. I worked at one company, Bentley Gas Company.
What did you do?
I was a carpenter. I made boxes to ship glass all over the United States there. And I retired in 84. I worked there 37 years, and I retired. So I've been retired ever since 84.
It's a long time.
And
how old are you right now?
I'm 98 now. So I was married 55 years to a lovely wife, a Sonata, and she died in 1910. Yeah. So here I am now, you know, and I'm in pretty good health. And I'm driving, and I do for my own here. I cooks, I wash my clothes, and so that's God. That's been good to me. So,
God is good to good people.
so, so here I am now, ready to take a trip.
What kind of trip?
I want to go to. I've never been to Washington D.C., so I would like to go there. And
What do you want to see? What is there something you really want to see most?
yes, I would like to go, and I would like to be on TV, where other people could see me. So,
Growing up, what was it like as a kid?
it was really was rough. You didn't have no joy, man. Otherwise, a colored person, he couldn't even look at a white lady, couldn't even speak to him, and nothing back then when I come along. So, so things have really my family, most of them died when they was in early age. They never knew that this was gonna never change. I didn't either myself. I didn't want to go to school because I felt like I knew how to farm, and I didn't have to go to school for it. And so that's why my father passed when I was 16 years old, and so I stopped going to school then and had to work in the field then to take care of my mother and a couple of my sisters back then.
What did you grow? Did you grow on the farm, or did you have animals?
We raised all kinds of type of animal, everything you could name, and on the farm we raised all our food, everything on the farm. Only thing we would have to go to town to get was sugar and maybe flour and all the other stuff that we raised it on the farm. Everything was raised on the farm.
How old were you when you went into the service?
I was 21.
And what kind of a change was that for you? Your small town and your farm where everybody took care of each other to going into the service and all the experiences.
Yeah, I guess it was really a change, you know. And by me going into service, I was proud that I did go into service too. I got a chance to see lots of the world, and I was blessed because my friend was being shot down by me. I had sleeping in the pits in the ground, and so I was really blessed to make it then back. Whole lots of my friends didn't make it back, and so I just thank God. I just thank God for letting me live this long. I don't have no aunties or uncles or no one. All I have now is my son, grandson, and my nieces and nephews. I don't have no other people living that I knew. When I first went in service, I worked in the kitchen for 6 months, and then after then I was come to be a coxswain swine. So coxswain swine, when you come to be a coxswain swine, you don't do no work then. You be in charge of a crew, people of whatever. You maybe have 15 or 20 people doing this and that. So in 6 months' time, I had went from first class until cocks and swine. The old saying said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So my company commander, the man was over the mess cooks. He got sick and he went to the hospital. So he asked my company commander to let me be in charge till he come back. But he never came back. So I was in charge of the mess cook, about 15 people that I had to see to everything being in order and ready to serve over 200 people or more every day. And so that's how I came to be a cox or swine. Yes, until the war was over with, and then after it was over with, I had stay in from July 45 until September to February in 46 before I had enough points. I would get how many points now, but I had to stay in because I didn't go in until 44. But the rest of the boys went in, in 41, 42. Yeah. So when the war was over, they were discharged. So I was on guard. I had to stand guard for that length of time before I was discharged in February 46.
Were you standing guard on the ship?
No, that's on land. Over on Port Hawaii, over the where all they have the supplies and all that. So we had different times to stand guard up there.
Of all the places you got to travel and see, what do you remember most of what you saw?
Well, I think Okinawa was the most, because that's where all the planes, that's where they would leave in the morning to go over to China. And they would, maybe 10 fighting planes would go over there and, drop bombs and come back. Some of them would come back and wings shot off and they would land and blow up. And I think Okinawa was the most important place that I went through while I was in there. So,
where were you when the bomb was dropped? You were in the Navy, yes.
When they dropped the bomb?
Yeah.
Yes, I was there. That's where where that plane left from Okinawa and went over that morning to and dropped that bomb or whatever, and they killed so many thousands of people. That's where they would fight, was leaving from to go over and back and forward to South Pacific, Okinawa.
And when you didn't know that they were going to do it.
No, I
didn't. When you heard that it had happened, how did you feel? I mean, were you glad because the war was going to be ended, or were you? I can't imagine. How did you feel about it?
Well, I was glad. I'm quite sure I was. Was glad that it was over with, because, yes, that's why they would. That's why we stationed in. That they would go over, and some of them would make it back. Some of the plane would make it back, and some didn't in the morning.